What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns climbing back up on Mount Soapbox for another rant. Today we're doing Mount Soapbox on top of one of these lovely mansions here because that is the topic, mansions. A lot of gamers have been wanting mansions to be included as properties that we can purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online, probably since the launch of Grand Theft Auto Online nearly 2 years ago in October 2013. Now, with all my rant videos, I tried to look at it from both perspectives, the pros and the cons, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. By the way, I'm all in favor of mansions being added to Grand Theft Auto Online. I believe that you should have a right to own 3 mansions or 4 mansions if we ever get a 4th property. However, I think there's some issues. Now, first off, the mansions obviously look really cool. They look awesome. And it would be great to own a mansion or, like I mentioned, 3 or 4 or 6 or 10 mansions in the game. Now, here's the issue. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, if you buy these mansions, if they eventually become available, there will be things to do inside because they're obviously very big, so Rockstar has to fill that interior with stuff for us to do. It can't just be empty with just a little heist room and along with some whiskey, some wine, a bong, of course the TV, a bed, and a shower. When it comes to mansions, gamers are going to expect a little bit more from mansions than the high-end apartments. So there's going to probably have to be some mini games in there like darts, maybe a pool table, a gym would be really cool, cards perhaps so you could play with your friends in your mansion, maybe even play for Grand Theft Auto money. That'd be kind of cool. And maybe, just maybe, a really big garage, bigger than the average high-end 10-car garage, which would definitely serve as a selling point for the mansions. Another reason to entice gamers to spend a little bit more money in order to buy the mansions in order to get larger garages for their automobiles. Now, there's a lot of cons when it comes to mansions because it sounds all well and good. Okay, I'm going to go buy a mansion now. They're available. Quick disclaimer, they're not really available. We're just hypothetically saying that Rockstar launches, say, a mansion DLC today, and you can go buy a mansion right now, hypothetically, not actually, and you drop, say, $5-10+ million on one of these very expensive mansions, which is the first con. They're going to be way more pricey than the high-end apartments. And the gamers are not going to be spending much time in the safe house anyways, because we don't. Unless you're going inside to change your wardrobe, which you really don't need to do anymore because we now have outfits we can select, up to 10 outfits now in the inventory screen. So you don't need to do that. The only other thing you do inside the safe houses is go into the heist room in order to do heists. On the very rare occasion you and some of your friends decide to get together and do heist missions. So I don't really see the novelty of having mansion interiors lasting very long. People go inside and check out the mansions. You'll definitely see scores of YouTube videos showing off the various mansion interiors, including me, guilty as charged. But the problem is, A, I don't think there's going to be that many interiors. Probably maybe 1 or 2 mansion interiors, just like there's only 2 interiors for high-end apartments. And the other issue is, even if there are a few mini games in these mansions, that is not going to last very long. People are going to go play darts inside their mansion. They'll play some pool or skee ball table, air hockey, or go to the gym, or even play cards with their friends. That one may last a little bit longer because it involves participation from other gamers, friends, and crewmates, especially if there's actually money on the line when you're playing cards inside your mansion. But the issue is, eventually these mini games will cease being played. They won't be played as much as races, death matches, captures, LTSs, and missions. Case in point, we already have mini games in Grand Theft Auto Online. We have golf. Most of the time, people play golf because they have to in order to get a daily objective. The same thing that goes for darts and especially tennis. Now, in story mode, you can just play 1 round or 1 game of tennis with Amanda or anyone else as Michael or some of the other characters. I think you can play as Trevor as well. I don't think you can play tennis as Franklin. I could be wrong about that. But in Grand Theft Auto Online, you have to play at least 1 set, which is several games, which takes forever. well, in Grand Theft Auto Online forever, at least 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how competitive the game is. Most of the time, I just want to get it over with, so I will intentionally lose a tennis match in order to lose the games and get the daily objective and move on so I can get $25,000 and 3,000 RP. Unless you happen to have a card table to play poker, blackjack with your friends, or perhaps some really awesome arcade mini games. Maybe even, they do a little fourth wall action where you can actually play the first two Grand Theft Auto games, the top-down versions from back in the 90s, on the TV inside your mansion. That would be kind of cool if they had something like that. And I would definitely be in there, playing the original Grand Theft Auto again, because it's been forever since I played Grand Theft Auto and GTA 2. Ultimately, the mini games are not going to be the selling point for the mansion. The selling point is two things. One, owning one of the mansions in the game. By the way, it's only going to be certain mansions. It won't be all the mansions, because Rockstar's not going to do that. They're just going to make this mansion, that mansion, that mansion, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 mansions available for you to purchase. And I seriously doubt that one of those mansions is going to be the quote-unquote Playboy mansion. Sorry, I don't see that happening. So that's the one reason you get a mansion, or several mansions if you got the money. The other is the garage. If, hypothetically, Rockstar gives you a larger than 10-car garage when it comes to mansions. Now, some of the other issues that I see are technical issues. Rockstar is going to have to rework the map in order to fit the garage underneath these purchasable mansions, because that's how it works with the apartments. You have to go under the building in order to get to the garage. Now, they're also going to have to add, obviously, interiors to some of these mansions that we mentioned. Now, we're going to be really lucky if Rockstar has made more than one interior for the mansions. Say maybe 1, 2, 3 or more. But the point is, they will not be customizable. They may look beautiful, they may look awesome, and you walk inside and you're like, yeah, this is rich, bitch. I am rich, I made it. You're not going to be able to do anything with it, because that's a technical issue, and that's a big reason why we don't have customization in our apartments. And that's why a lot of the apartment interiors look alike, because Rockstar has to do that in order to save memory in the game. It's all a bit technical, so I don't see them adding too many interiors, 2 if we're lucky, and that might be on a high-end, low-end mansion basis. There may be like a upper-class mansion you can buy, but then above that will be the elite mansions that are looking a little bit nicer, but obviously cost way more than the upper-class mansions. So, or they'll all just be expensive as hell, and you'll get lucky if you get this interior in this mansion and that interior over there in that mansion. And chances are you can forget about having your own personal helipads, because that's something else that Rockstar would have to add to a lot of the mansions in the game. Alright, so the biggest con that I have regarding mansions is the suspension of disbelief. Now, what I mean by this is, okay, so you buy one of these mansions for $5 million, $10 million or more, and you realize, to your horror, that you're not the only gamer in free mode that owns this mansion, because you see someone popping out of the mansion that you're about to walk into. Or you walk out and you see somebody coming into the mansion, and you're like, hey, that's my mansion. And they're like, hey, no, it's my mansion. I bought it. I dropped $10 million for this mansion, but I dropped $10 million for this mansion. The difference is, when it comes to mansions, is you want to give this illusion that it's yours, that it belongs to you and only you. Now, with the high-end apartments and the low-end apartments, it's obviously a lot more plausible to have fellow tenants in said high-end or low-end apartments, because it's an apartment. That's just the way they function, which still gives you an illusion of ownership. Now, I realize what you're going to say, but GeauxBurns, there's also houses in the game that several people own. Well, the houses are a lot cheaper than the mansions are going to be. And the truth is, a lot less people own those houses now. When they were released, I think with the Independence Special update back in July 2014, it was kind of a big deal because it was new, it was different. But the novelty quickly wore off when it came to those houses. And unless you're extremely poor in the game, or you just have one for shits and giggles as a fun third property just to have a house, a lot of people do not really own those houses anymore. Most of the gamers now that play the game on a regular basis have the moolah, cash, dineros, dollars in order to purchase high-end apartments. So that's what most gamers have. 3 high-end apartments, each with 10-car garages, maxed out with 30 rides. Which means if Rockstar is to ever add the mansions to Grand Theft Auto Online, they have to offer something more than what we can already get from high-end apartments. If they come with 10-car garages as well, then people will buy the mansions, but eventually they're going to be like, well, you know what, I don't really care for the mansions. There's a few mini games in here, it was kind of fun, but I'd rather have some of my money back, so I'm just going to go and buy another high-end apartment, get a few dollars back, 100,000 or a couple million bucks back in my bank account, and move back into another high-end apartment. Unless Rockstar actually makes the mansions awesome beyond our wildest dreams and expectations. Now, there is an unexpected pro that came up in this discussion. The fact that, yes, several people are going to own Mansion A or Mansion B or Mansion C. If Rockstar came out and said in a newswire or via the Dynasty 8 website that you're basically renting or timesharing this mansion from a billionaire or a rich celebrity that's spending most of their time in a foreign country, then at the very least you know exactly what you're getting into. You're sharing a mansion with other gamers, other players, maybe crewmates, and the unexpected pro that comes up from that is perhaps the mansion interiors become its own exclusive passive free mode for everybody that lives in that mansion. You can hang out with other gamers, you can go to the gym and work out with other gamers, maybe swim in the pool if there's an interior pool, maybe do some bowling, cousin, play darts, poker, basically existing in your own mini free mode with all the other gamers that purchased the same mansion as you did. Personally, I'd rather have more garage space, but that's just me.